Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Monday, July 2nd, and the Time Tinkerer's event is over. So, fortunately, I have been given an exact date warning, I suppose, through the portable version, the mobile version of Hearthstone. They said it's like 2 days left. And because of that, I did all the daily quests yesterday, off screen. I don't have a refresh here, so I need to win 3 victories with Paladin Warriors. We're back to the sucky daily quests that take a lot more time, which is fine because then we kind of also have a lot of time to cover the news. We're back to regular arena runs also. And let's see, before we start a game, the month happened, so we're back to rank 24 in standard play. I got some small amount of dust and apparently maybe 1 golden card. I guess on my Asian account I will keep this 1 golden card that would have been worth 50 dust. And card backs. Apparently the new filter does not work in card backs, so we've got a new card back we can use. Yay. Like, nothing super great. Nothing super interesting. Paladin or Warrior, what we're playing. Let's come over here. We have a Rush Warrior, let's try that. I redid a different, it's called CSS. It's like code style sheet or something like that, that changes HTML code to look differently. So there should be a barely readable comment here from my comments, and it's no longer blacked out. I don't think I'm gonna stick with that. The reason why the background was blacked out on the chat is because in the past people have friended me on Steam either knowing I'm a YouTuber or not, and then just, even though I'm marked as busy, the Hearthstone is screwed up and let people type in messages, and particularly on the Asian and European accounts, and so messages, appropriate or not, are showing up from the in-game chat instead of through the YouTube chat where all chat should happen, and I believe that's even one of the rules over here. Haven't looked at the rules in a while. Might suit me well to reread some of them. Last time I read them, they did seem slightly off-putting, but I don't know if I could really improve upon them too much. So, in what can only be described as an ironic twist of stupidity, I've been struggling to finish Black Mirror 2, which I'm in the 5th chapter, the 5th act, so I think I'm close to being done, but I'm not 100% sure that I'm anywhere close to actually being done. So who knows, like maybe I only have another couple hours to do, maybe I have several more hours to do. I don't see a real reason to not just finish it before moving on to the next game. But I am getting myself in a very odd position because of the way I've set things up here. I started playing Borderlands 2, made several hours of progress on that. I'm playing all of Black Mirror, and the game I should have been playing instead of Black Mirror should have been Lara Croft Go or Lara Croft Temple of the Osiris. And I guess I'll play Lara Croft Go first and see if I can get bored of it, because the Go series does have that opportunity to be more of a boring experience than I like. Let's see. play this weapon. Just my mouse. My mouse doesn't seem like it wants to move today. Seeming a little sluggish, and I don't think that's battery. The Steam Summer Sale is still going on. It won't be on for much longer. So my e-begging of asking people to friend me on Steam, which people have been friending me on Steam, and I appreciate that. But then nobody has taken me up on the second part of that offer of actually gifting any games to me, or gift cards or anything. But the summer sale is almost done. I'm not sure I'm gonna get to rank 10 on the clicker game. Unless these games that you're supposed to be winning or supposed to have a chance of winning are gonna pay out at the end and things were just not explained well. Like, it feels like you don't have a great chance of winning a free game on the clicker game. Because I've spent considerable amount of times, according to their metrics, playing those games. There is a slight problem with the games they offer too, that you can win. A lot of them I already have, and when there is a single level slash planet that's offering one of 4 games to win, and I'd really like that one game that I don't have, and I've already purchased the other 3 games, am I potentially winning the one I already have, and thus the game is just ignoring me and moving on to the next winner because of that? That's one way it might be going. Or more likely, I kind of assume that what's going on here is people are just not winning that much. It feels like worse than even one of those McDonald's Monopoly games, because the McDonald's Monopoly games are designed heavily so that, like, basically nobody who didn't illegally cheat has, as far as I know, has ever won the $1 million grand prizes on the McDonald's Monopoly games. However, at the very least, you're very high to win a free side of fries, a free bit of food of some sort, and so you at least feel like you're getting rewarded, when in all actuality winning a free side of fries from McDonald's probably is just a good way to get you to come back to McDonald's and spend more money. But I would like to see Steam try to adopt something like that. Like, there really was nothing stopping them in this summer sale from giving away games, trading cards, booster packs, bags of gems alone. Like, you could have really had a whole collection of things that we're not seeing here. That's all I needed. But limiting it to just games has too many people not winning, and that's irritating. Do we need to talk about anything else right now? And Lego double VIP points. I don't know why I'm talking about Lego particularly. The past months have been pretty bad, because you have E3, which took a lot of my time but didn't take a lot of money. Then you have the Steam Summer Sale, which took a lot of my money. Then you have, in the very next month, you have Amazon Prime Day, which I believe is July the 6th. So that it's Prime Day is probably more of a scam than an actual sale. because it's just trying to get people to purchase things right after they would have purchased things for July the 4th. After that point, everything, I think for the most part, gets quiet. I don't think there's anything in August or September really. You start to get towards Halloween, and it will be interesting to see if I can stop screwing up and get my scheduling in the right order so I can do Halloween month with as much content as I've been making, which isn't even as much as I was last year. Clearly I've dropped the ball as far as looking at the scheduling, and just kind of dropped the ball on my channel completely. It's not been a good year ever since YouTube kicked us out of the partner program. That was a like 100% speed bump, and I don't know how to really get around that. There are other things that aren't just around blaming YouTube for the failure of my channel, though. There certainly is a lack of attempting to collaborate, attempting to go to things like VidCon or conventions and push myself. I'm on a couple of like YouTube gaming groups. I don't push my videos there. Never have. Didn't care. I was trying to take a very laid-back attempt on my channel. I didn't want to just get a bunch of Halo Bros type gamers or meme gamers or whatever the mainstream gamers that play only one game a year and that's it. I was trying to go for a little bit more of an audience that would be tailored and suited to me and a little bit more loyal. And I think I probably, with the small bit of help of the YouTube algorithm, have created an audience somewhat from that. So that wasn't a complete failure. It just also wasn't a instance of completely pandering to the mainstream, the biggest audience possible. And I guess because I didn't pander to the biggest audience possible, I didn't get enough subscribers in YouTube's eyes. And of course, a big part of any success or failure on YouTube, I would say 95% of it is just luck and timing and luck, you could say. Had I started my channel 5 years earlier, where I probably could have, at least in some form or fashion, maybe not with as much content, that would have, my channel would be a lot more successful. But then also, it also gets to a point that if I had started 5 years earlier, I would have had to have had a much more expensive computer rig. But this sad nostalgia, or whatever you would call it, isn't really helping anything. We've got a decent amount of news, and because we only have daily quests, it's going to probably not take us too long to get all the daily quests done today. And we need to just play ranked also to get up to rank, since it's a new month. I don't see any reason to make a decision to change from what, like, I wouldn't want to change our decks too much right now. It seems like we're going to be getting the new expansion pretty quickly, and at that point I'll just rebuild decks. Starting with the news, Gamasutra has an article. Iron Mountain Interactive lands a $3 million investment. Let's see. I don't know if Iron Mountain Interactive Let's see. Along with the $3 million investment, the deal enters the Australian, no, not Australian, but Austrian company into a publishing agreement with Oasis Games, giving it publishing right to Iron Mountain's unannounced competitive hero shooter game due out in 2019. So basically, Oasis Games has invested into a company and gotten the publish rights for $3 million. And if the game that Iron Mountain makes turns out to be a failure, they will then just liquidate or try to foreclose or sell their shares of that company.
What now?
Let's see. This.
Try this.
And
Bring
this.
pain.
This. And do that. In return. PC Gamer has an article. Kursk, K-U-R-S-K, the submarine disaster documentary is due out in October. Spy on Russians inside the submarine. I don't know why they're calling this a documentary. It's a Steam adventure game. I guess they're describing it themselves as a Steam documentary adventure game. The thing here, again, I'm talking about games that probably I should wait. It looks alright, but I have grave concerns for how much like gameplay there's really gonna be in this. Spying on somebody from a submarine is mostly incredibly boring work. So what are you gonna do? Like, you're stuck in the submarine, probably, and you're mostly just listening for signals.
Reporting for duty.
Well, what I'm seeing in this late part of the trailer is like the submarine got hit, but the submarine also had like arcade games inside of it, which I doubt a submarine would have that unless this is supposed to be set in a very modern time. Let's not do that. Let's instead do this and then do this.
Job done.
There's a quote here I'm seeing: more than a bit of poetic license has been taken in retelling this disaster.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see, this game has a Steam page. Fair enough, I guess that puts it close enough. It's supposed to come out October 11th. This is an odd one. But I think in its oddity, on top of its good-looking graphics, it might offer something. When I got to the Steam page, there seems to be sections that take place outside of the submarine, and that makes a lot more sense too. Like, the last thing I'd really want to do is play an entire game inside a sub, or even much of a game inside of a submarine. Even the excellent submarine sequence in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis is not particularly heavily long in the amount of time it takes to play. Let's see. So yeah, I'll wishlist that and keep an eye on it. I did go through my wishlist and I took out a lot of point-and-click adventures in particular that were of mixed reviews. I went through all the games on my wishlist and I said anything that's negative, mostly negative, okay, let's look at those and think about removing them. Anything with mixed reviews, let's look at those and take them off. And a lot of point-and-clicks, particularly now as I'm as I'm getting just frustrated and tired of dealing with Broken Sword not being what I wanted it to be, and Black Mirror not being really good either. There's just this incidents on top of incidents of let's try to play this, of me having some form of nostalgia for games, but that nostalgia really not standing up to the test of time. The vast majority of things on my wishlist, however, are not reviewed. There's definitely a problem with Steam right now, as far as the fact that it just kind of does not care to encourage people. There's really no desire whatsoever to have somebody review a game, and that leads to a lot of meme games getting reviewed too high, and it leads to a lot of games that probably were played by people not getting reviewed at all. Again, like the Steam point-and-click game and giveaway that they're doing right now for the summer sale, if they wanted to create some non-refundable summer bucks, some gems, some trading card incitement to write a review, that would be great. Like, even if it wasn't much, because I know you'd have to balance that against a lot of people trying to do a lot of fraudulent activity, but yeah, I think you could probably find some kind of incentive, some non-tradable, non-transferable incentive for writing reviews to get more people to write reviews. Arguably though, if you incentivize people writing reviews, you're just going to get a bunch of bad reviews. At this point in my Discovery Curator streams that we're supposed to look at 3 of them every day for the Steam Summer Sale to get trading cards, I'm starting to see some of the games that I saw 2 or 3 weeks ago. Let's see, what's the other thing? We're playing Warrior and I believe Paladin, so I can just play Marlock Paladin. So I've been saying for probably a month straight now that Discovery 2.0 seems to work very well, and you don't seem to see games that are fake meme games getting suggested. Some of them have now started to show up in the Curator Discovery feed. So maybe that's because I've seen every game on Steam. That's certainly possible. It seems like there's a collection certainly of games that never came to PC or never came to Steam. One of which I would argue is the like Bionic Commando Rearmed, which was only for the Xbox 360 and PS3. Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, excuse me. Also, it seems like maybe the missed 25th year edition is only coming to good old games, and so like Myst 3 Exiles isn't actually going to come on Steam, and that would certainly suck.
No more take candles.
But I'm willing to make more of an exception in that case than I normally would. Didn't work either time. We've got a game on Steam called The Chambers, a classic point and click and room escape game. In a weird way, the
Reporting for
chambers
duty.
look a lot like the
Reporting for duty.
cubes in that movie Cube, but the game doesn't seem like it has any kind of real horror aspect to it. It's just a way of converting what looks like a mobile game, and a simply made one at that, into a PC game. So yeah, I doubt I would play this game, The Chambers. Also, Steam's search engine is messed up right now, and it won't search half things. Like, one thing in particular I've noticed is it won't search games by an uncapitalized first letter. So if you're, say, looking up Bioshock and you type lowercase B-I-O, nothing comes up. But if you search instead capital B-I-O, you'll bring it up. So it seems like Steam's having some trouble. I went through all these games, by the way, and cleared off a lot of games that I really wouldn't have had anything to say with, so, like, just bad games from every perspective, or at least most of them. So next game we have is called Deep Lands. It's a early access action adventure indie game.
Reporting for duty.
It seems like a kind of walk around a creepy house. Your wife disappears. You're looking for her. If it's an asset flip, which maybe you could classify it as that, it's one of those asset flips where everything is very, very pretty, extremely pretty, which makes it hard to actually label it that. Maybe there's a slight disconnect in the graphics as I'm looking at the trailers. Thematically, there seems to be a disconnect. But I can't initially just reject this game. It's early access, $17.99. And if the search is going to remain broken, I guess I can't even mention if the game has been made by somebody, if it's the first game from this developer or not. Which I guess in the long run that'll just save me time, won't it? Let's go more. And we'll take one of these. Play this. And then we'll just... Well, we can just kill this guy, there's no reason to keep him. Here we go. Actually, I do have to kill this guy, don't I?
Hey, catch!
Move quickly.
There we go, win. We've got a game called Trooper 2 Alien Justice. It looks like a pretty well done first-person shooter from a kit type game. I almost don't want to call it an asset flip, but it still really falls into that category. I have right now in my head a kind of very binary system of, is this game an original piece of content that we just call a game, or is this an asset flip in the fact that it bought too many games from the asset store, because even AAA games buy games for asset stores, and didn't mix them well. And usually AAA games do mix them well. This is a Halo-esque looking game with cover-based mechanics that seem more in the way of Gears of War, if I was to guess. But inherently, I think it's a $3.99 game that I would mostly just call an asset flip. Still, it looks better than most, but that doesn't mean much. And again, I can't even confirm if there is a Trooper 1 Alien Justice out there. Let's see. PC Gamer has an article. The full HTC Vive kit with upgraded base stations is now available in the US and UK. It comes with updated trackers and controllers. So I guess that's nice. Slightly questionable, I guess.
Reporting for duty.
Job's done.
Is this really what they're ready to release as a end product? Because I'm still not sure the controls are groundbreaking enough for the HTC Vive controllers. These are the ones that kind of look like ladles. Ice cream scoops might be a way to describe them too. And the headset itself is probably the best, one of the best ones you can get of that between the Oculus. I think VR is still very much doomed to failure right now until the price gets down and there's a snake eating its own tail of the price needs to come down, so they make games, and people will only make games until the price comes down. That's why the Oculus is set up to succeed more likely than the Vive, because it's much more likely that Facebook pours a bunch of money into the Oculus Rift than there is an odd that HTC will pour money and lose money on selling Vives. Of course, Sony doesn't seem to be really interested in pushing PlayStation VR, so forget that. PC Gamer also has another article. A rumored Core i9 9900K would be Intel's burliest mainstream CPU to date. This would be an 8-core 16-thread chip, is what they're speculating. Let's see. Where, in comparison, an i7 9700K is 6-core 12 threads, or an i5 is a 6-core 6 threads, which I assume 6-core 6 threads on an i5 might mean that it doesn't have any boost potential, where it could speed up above the main speed.
This is my
Kill
responsibility.
this guy. In return, like all three of those rumored processors would have an unlocked multiplier on the core frequency, but I'm not sure exactly how high the core frequency would really be. Somewhere around 800 megahertz maybe. And the thought is it would probably be less than $2,000, but could be closer to that than you would think. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article. PC Gamer is the only one that really wrote a bunch of articles so far this week. The Humble Store's DRM Freedom sale is live. The week-long sale features reductions up to 90%. So, the Humble Store is doing their summer sale here at the end of the Steam summer sale, which seems like a fair enough thing to do. Although, maybe you space it out. Maybe you wait a month. I feel like the Humble Store probably has more sales over the course of a year than Steam does that are big sales. If you count every single day something being on sale on Steam, by far Steam would be the winner, but I don't really think that's the case. Steam in general has just not been offering great discounts for several years now. I did say Friday that I was going to take the weekend off because my throat was sore, and I did take one day off, but I was really kind of itching to get back to work. Like, I'm not making tons of progress in life in general with this channel, so taking more time off didn't sound like a good idea. I did find that I actually had like cough drops that I could have been using for a while and certainly haven't been. So now I have those, and I took one before starting the stream. Let's see. A few games that PC Gamer wants to point out that are for sale on the Humble Store: The Fall, Monaco, What's More Yours Is Mine, Death Road to Canada, Moonlighter, and Into the Breach, and Soma. Their picks seem to be generally random. Probably whoever paid PC Gamer to promote them. Some of these discounts are only 10% off, while other discounts are as high as 85% off. The Humble Store does give you Steam codes, so unless the sale is for games that you're specifically opting to not get a Steam code, I'm a little confused as far as what that would be. Let's play this. And
For justice.
Here. Turn. Yep. This, I guess, is a point where I could e-bag a little bit more. Since this Humble the Humble Store's DRM Freedom Sale is going on. If you don't want to, if there was some kind of game you wanted to gift me and it wasn't on discount through Steam, there's a secondary option now to get Steam codes and direct message those to me through Twitter.
The light dims,
Do that.
but we fight. The light dims, but we fight.
Job's done.
That. I guess I could look at the Humble Store's DRM Freedom Sale. Suppose I could make a whole video just e-begging, covering games once again on things that are on sale, but I don't feel like that would be what I have enough time to do.
They'll serve me now.
I'd like to get off all of this e-begging, frankly. Start a Patreon if I felt like enough people would actually fund it and just not have to talk about this stuff, because it is quite depressing. Let's play this.
Your magic shall not save me.
Attack here and here. Put this here. Attack there. And play this.
Reporting for duty. Job done.
And then return. We've got a game on Steam called Heart of Dixie. It's a action RPG is what they're calling it. It's interesting because it's somebody's drawings of anthropomorphic characters basically furry
I'm almost
characters,
out of cards.
or I don't even know if you really should describe them as furry characters, as more just anthropomorphic animals, trying to do some game that looks half visual novel and half RPG Maker. It's pretty bad, but so bad I felt like it was even worth mentioning for that reason. Whereas a significant amount of other bad games I chose not to even put on the list.
For justice.
Playing Gamasutra has an article: streaming platform devs take down Fortnite adware, chide Epic for not doing it itself. The developers of the streaming platform Rainway have tracked down the source of a particularly potent piece of adware that has infected seemingly thousands of Fortnite players, something that developers say Fortnite creator Epic Games should have been more vigilant about. So there is definitely a whole collection of ads I've seen on YouTube promising to allow to play Fortnite like on Android when it's not available on Android right now, or get them in beta access, or do something else that's highly desirable but not actually possible at the current time. And it's kind of surprising that YouTube lets those ads play and doesn't look at them first. I get that YouTube can't look at every single video that's uploaded to YouTube, but there's really no argument for them to be doing business through their AdSense and letting people buy ad time and run ads and not have somebody look at it and go, is this actually a scam? Is this, in previous cases there's been hate speech or what at least controversial topics talked about as ads. Like, people need to be looking at the ads that they're doing direct business with. YouTube's argument that everything is automated, thus we're not responsible for anything, doesn't fly in some instances.
So many bloody decisions.
Unsurprisingly, the offending adware itself was masquerading as a Fortnite hack that promised free in-game currency. So, yeah. The weird thing here is Rainway is, like, I've never even heard of Rainway, and I'm particularly more interested in knowing what Rainway is. Let's see. Rainway. Play your favorite games on any device. Play anywhere. No extra hardware. 100% free. Seems like Rainway themselves might be committing some kind of crime here. Like, unless this 100% free doesn't include the price of actually buying the games. Otherwise, there's definitely something fishy going on there. Maybe it's one fraudulent company calling out another fraudulent company. See, this is one of those Gamasutra articles that, like, might have just been published by a random person. Let's just move on though. One more win and I'll have the monthly chest already locked in. So let's go for that. And, you know, I think we might have a win streak right now too, and so it'd be pretty nice not to break the win streak. PC Gamer has an article: Fortnite Blockbuster contest to feature a winning movie at in-game theater. The winner also gets their movie poster plastered somewhere on the island, along with a few other nice prizes. Fortnite Season 4 followed a theatrical superhero theme with an unlockable pseudo Marvel skins and loading screens released each week that showed the actors at work. With the Fortnite blockbuster contest, Epic Games wants players to film their own interpretation of a movie happening behind the scenes, and the winner gets their take canonized. It doesn't seem like they want you to inherently film this in game, though. So that it looks like it's you could do a live action, or you could probably do an animation game, but I don't think they want you to do it in the Fortnite game itself, or they're not at least demanding that. Interesting, I suppose. In a weird way, I've not managed to name any of my clickbait titles Fortnite yet, and I definitely should. I should have done that months ago when Fortnite first came out. Just like, yeah, and no talk about Fortnite. Not that I think really any of those clickbait titles are helping too much. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article, weird, fun, and useful tools for getting more out of Steam. Let's see what they have to talk about it. One they have is Steam Trade Matcher. So it will scan through your duplicate trading cards and list other card holders and bots that have the missing cards you knew and let you make a trade offer. That might be useful. Steam library filters. I think I've used once something that sort of sorted out my Steam library, but it also kind of messed up some things. Steam sale countdown. Steam inventory helper. Steam sale countdown, of course, is just counting down until the next Steam sale, one would assume.
Your magic shall not save you.
Sounds
Hey, catch!
Steam inventory helper. This Chrome extension makes the repetitive and clunky process of selling and buying and trading on Steam much easier and more streamlined. It allows bulk selection of cards and sales. Steam has improved bulk purchasing. I'm not sure if they've particularly improved bulk selling of cards, which is, it's nice. Just go for the victor. Enhanced Steam is a nifty browser extension that imports info you need when thinking of buying a game. It'll look through the Steam stores to see not only the current Steam price, but the lowest price has been historically. Enhanced Steam helps.
Change your mind.
Steam database, SteamDB, is a useful tool for analytics.
You have better.
There is a site called Is There Any Deal? Let's not break the streak. Like, if I can get to rank 20 really quickly and then work towards rank 15 for the rest of the month, it at least gives me more time. Let's see. Is There Any Deal looks at other digital marketplaces to see if the game might be cheaper somewhere else. Depressurizers is an organization tool. I believe that's the one I used before. Steam Database Calculator, which will tell you several hours, like the total number of hours you've played, the number of friends, number of games, maybe even the amount of time. Oh, wait, no, that's wasted hours on Steam, tells you the number of hours you spent. There's also a Steam customizer. How long to beat. I find how long to beat is, for me, always really, really low.
Well met.
Like, by 4 or 5 hours, it takes me more times to beat a game compared to how long it says how long to beat takes. And I'm not a huge fan of that fact. Do we play this or do we play this? Like, we have to protect this, I think.
But we fight.
Do that. There's a website called Steam Coupons. So you can check your friend's inventory to see if anybody else has any coupons for games. Which coupons for games, not a lot of that happening. And that's another thing that could certainly have been going on during the clicker game and during the summer sales. Is we could have been winning coupons for games to bump them up even more. Let's see. Let's see. Steam Game Gauntlet. Let's see. The Steam Game Gauntlet makes a Wheel of Fortune to draw to pick a game to play.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Fair Steam adds YouTube videos of people playing games to the Steam page. There's a website, Can We All Play, to let you know what games you and a group of friends have in common. That's an interesting one.
Put this apple on your head.
Reporting for duty.
It's not something personally I would need a live visa for, but I can see a lot of other people. There's a BNet launcher.
An incredible discovery.
This utility allows you to keep using your Steam overlay when playing Blizzard's games through the Battle.net launcher. Interesting. That's an interesting one. So I can put like Hearthstone using BNet launcher in my Steam library just so it's all in one place. Yeah, a decent list. Nothing here amazingly great. If anything, the trading cards element might help more than anything else. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article. China says it's building on it built a working laser gun, brings us one step closer to the real BFG. The laser rifle is reportedly capable of carbonizing targets a kilometer away, which that's.
I wonder.
This is questionable at best. Like, it's not that you certainly couldn't build a laser and hit something from a meter away and then starting it on fire and burning it in the carbon over a long period of time. It's the question really of like how much power this device takes. In comparison, the United States has lasers on their nuclear submarines that have nuclear reactors that are creating tons of power. They can hit missiles, but those things are big. Really, really big and really, really expensive. And it seems like it will take at least another decade to get that technology down small enough that it could be in a handheld level. Also, there's certainly a question of heating, because when you're making a laser that powerful, it gets hot everywhere. So, I questionable, could you actually hold a device like that and not burn yourself with it? I'm seeing an image here of what looks like a blocky, made-up gun. This really feels like just a load of BS to me. And I'm not even 100% sure I'd say this is like the Chinese government BSing people. This might just be some Chinese company BSing, because everybody knows they do that too.
To battle! Reporting for duty.
Like, I don't even know why you would announce something like that, frankly. Like, you would keep something like that as top secret as possible if you really had done it. So you could use it for covert operations and have people just burnt or disappear and leave it as a mystery for several decades. So yeah, highly suspicious of that claim. And not very related video games. Like, just because somebody claims they've created a gun, that doesn't inherently tie into video games, because there's a lot of guns in video games. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article. Minotaur blends cyberpunk visual novel and serial adventures. I thought I had just seen a game called Minotaur, but maybe it was called Labyrinth or something. It has a demo on Steam right now, and I'm looking at the trailer. I don't know. I'm having an issue certainly on my Twitter feed right now with, I'm not really getting as much things as I would like to get, but I'm also not really missing things. So it's just kind of light on Twitter, which is, I guess, fine. Let's see. We did what we needed to do. We'll come back on Wednesday and we'll have 2 more things to deal with. Let's see. Do we really have anything else here to deal with? This game Minotaur has boss fights and like death traps, so it is kind of a visual novel mixed in with, I guess, a Zero Escape type idea. It's a Kickstarter game, so like I really don't support or recommend anybody support this game because it's a Kickstarter game. Like, don't support Kickstarters. But you're gonna have items and inventory. It seems like they're promising quite a bit. I may have messed up a little bit here with the if I had played on my European account a little bit later yesterday, I may have gotten another daily quest, but oh well. This is a weird game, Minotaur, as I'm looking at the trailer, because it's like half Japanese anime style characters and then half weird cyberpunk western style. It's just this like mix of a couple different things, almost like there's 2 artists who are very diverted or divided artists. Yeah, so yeah, Minotaur, it's on Steam. I'll put it on my wish list to keep an eye on it. Minotaur, coming out Q2 in 2018. It says what we shall see. And as far as shall see, it's been an hour, and this is as good a place as any to break up this recording. We've still got a decent amount of news, and while we don't have an incredibly ton of daily quests to do, it did take us an hour basically to do that one daily quest. We're back to the more difficult daily quests. I kind of wish they hadn't done that. I kind of wish that even if they weren't going to give us dust, or they were going to give us, and they were going to give us less gold, I still would have preferred more daily quests built around draw 15 cards. You know, this Time Tinkerer expansion has shown they know what kind of daily quests they should be giving, and they, right now at least, are deciding to not give us the ones that would be nice and kind, and instead they've decided to go back to the pretty cruel, pretty difficult ones. 50 gold for winning one game can be a struggle, certainly. Playing 20 Warlock class cards can be a struggle, because certainly we may not have decks built, and if we don't have those decks built, then we'd have to take something out and try something different. I guess I do have a demon deck right now that I can use. We can make our new favorite card this, and we can see what the one card we got for our monthly thing was. It was this, so I'll disenchant it on the European account for 50 more dust. We've got a decent amount of dust to try and craft some cards, but I'll wait until HS Replay decides I decide to look at those again. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.